Hello everyone and welcome to our session. I have a little bit of a loss of a voice today, so I'm kind of going to come on amongst you. Sorry about that. I do know a little sign language. That's it. It's hi, my name is Bethany. So that's about all you're going to get from me there. But thanks so much for coming to our session today. We wanted to share a little bit with you about Mosaic, our new books ordering platform. And a couple of panelists here are going to share how they're using Mosaic in Live. We're going to try to save enough time at the end for some questions. So if folks have questions, please do save them for the end. And we'll be sure to allot time. I'm going to ask you guys to be our timekeepers, if you could. If we're running a little over, if you can flag us down. So switch through here. So here we are. Welcome to the Mosaic Chef's Table. Today we're going to have a little appetizer, a little taste of Mosaic. We're going to do a little demonstration. I will run it, and John here will be my ventriloquist and talk through it. So hopefully it'll be a little bit more intelligible. From there, we're going to see the entrees, which is the recipes in action, which are our friends here from Strayer and Centara, who are going to share some of how they're using Mosaic in Live with you and some of their observations, being very candid about their experience there. And then we'll circle back at the end with dessert, because we all like dessert, on how you can find out more information about Mosaic and what to do next. So what is Mosaic? Mosaic is our next generation books ordering platform. It is available.
Your slide didn't change.
Yeah, I'm going to,
Okay.
thank you. Yeah, I'm going to advance it in just a minute. Thank you, though. In Mosaic, you can search and discover perpetual ebooks from a myriad of suppliers that's ever growing, including non-English language titles to the tune of over 900,000 non-English titles. From there, you can see the prices and eligibility up front. You also see locked-in pricing. So the price that you're going to see is the price that you can expect to get charged. Just going to do a little break here and take a little sip. From there, you place an order in Mosaic, and there is rapid fulfillment. And by rapid fulfillment, I mean you can expect to get access to your ebooks within minutes. So you're not waiting a long time. You get immediate access to them. Also, as soon as it's fulfilled, you have access to a provisional level cataloging record. So this means you can get it immediately into your system so that patrons can discover it quicker. Those cataloging records can include your proxied URL, and if you're integrated with your ILS system, your POL, all of the details that you need to have that interoperability. So it's nice and sleek. And then lastly, you can expect to see rapid invoicing. So you'll get your invoices faster, and if you're configured for your ILS will also integrate, and your EDI invoice will go seamlessly right to your ILS. So it's very seamless. That's really the goal of Mosaic, is to have workflows that work for you, that are seamless, and that make your jobs a lot easier, especially in the climate where you're trying to do more with less. So with that being said, we are going to have our appetizer. We're going to have a little taste of Mosaic here. I'll ask John to come up and be my little ventriloquist.
You're the ventriloquist, I'm the dummy.
Yeah.
You say.
I did want to touch, since ILS is part of the session title, to just say that Mosaic currently offers order API ordering through Alma. Today it's live, and Folio will be live by the end of the calendar year. It's included in the Sunflower release, which is out in the wild now, but it will be part of Service Pack 3. It's tested with alpha and beta testers. It's ready. We're just waiting for the launch. So it's available for order API and EDI invoicing from Alma, Folio, and on deck is WMS. Mary did a poll for all of you of what ILSs you use, and the majority of the room are one of those three, which is pretty cool. I know there may be some others. Hit me up after, and we can talk about where that is in the priority. All right, so now really on to the demo. All right.
All right, so ta-da! The first thing you notice is how clean Mosaic is. One of the things that we love about it, and that you will love about it, and that your staff will love about it, is that it doesn't require a lot of training, right? You can see how elegant the user interface is, super clean. Bethany's going to put up, she has these pre-populated ISBNs. We are live in this now, and this is a search on, looks like, languages and linguistics. And so you can see here how clean it is. You get a real short, brief, nice item detail here that you can click into. You have just the brief one, and then you can click into the item details. You get the publisher, and then the purchase options. You're going fast for the demo.
Yeah, I know. Keep up, keep up.
So if we stay on the purchase option side here, you can see you can toggle either of the tabs. You get all of the various options. You get the formats. You get the supplier. You see EBSCO and JSTOR there's at the bottom. And the access model, and then you can do a preview too. So all that's right here. You see if you load it into the cart.
Okay, I'm just going to expand the script down for some additional examples. So how do we show this?
Yeah, excellent.
Accessibility metadata.
Accessibility detail that's there. TOC, title description, and ultimately we'll have the GOBI metadata that our profilers currently add when they're profiling book in hand or book on screen. That data will be added ultimately, not today, but coming soon. Here's where you see where the holdings are. So you know there's your dupe control right up front when you're looking at the title. Make sure that you don't accidentally ordering. And now you're looking at the library history to see where and when you purchased that title. So today, we don't have print in Mosaic yet.
Yes.
But, we almost practiced that. That was good.
I know, right?
Yeah. But we have a knockout to punch out to GOBI, and it goes directly to the title level. So if you discover the title as an ebook in Mosaic, you can click on that link and go straight directly to the title in print in GOBI.
All right, let's add one to the cart, and then actually it looks like I already have one in the cart. Let's do maybe one other search, and then we'll move on.
So in this one, obviously Bethany did a keyword search, and we have these facets here where you can do filters. You could filter on the DRM status, format, pub year, language. In this case, if you choose for Polish, we have Polish titles in Polish that render correctly. And important to note, they do render correctly in Mosaic. GOBI kind of chokes on these kinds of different symbols, diacritics, etc. But Mosaic, these titles do render exactly in the language correctly. So now we're in the cart. And we have what are called profiles, not to be confused with approval profiles. So today, if you're using GOBI, you might be using go-between to have, say, your medical library, your law library, your main library. You would use that to be able to manage your ordering. What we're doing with Mosaic is having a profile would take the place of that. So you might have, if you're ordering for the medical library, you would come into Mosaic and use your medical library profile. And you could toggle back and forth between the main library, the medical library, the law library, etc. By changing those profiles. Order details. Mosaic is going to have, is it 35, Bethany?
Yep, you can support up to 35 fields versus GOBI only has 10 or local order details.
So you have a lot of data.
Lots of expansion here. So Alma libraries that want all the reporting codes supported, we can do that. So we're applying an order template.
So yeah, you can save order templates. You can create as many as you like. You can share them or with colleagues that are also selecting, or you can keep them private so you have your own order template.
That's all the appetizer includes for today. I will highlight now while we're talking about it. It's later in the deck, but let me just show this real quick. We do have some webinars up on our website that we've done if you have 10 minutes, that's all it takes. Where real libraries are showing ordering in Mosaic and then showing what it looks like in their ILS for both orders and invoicing. So we have one for Alma, we have one for Folio upcoming in November. So if you're interested, check those out. You can replay some of the others if you're interested in learning more. So it's just wanted to share that. So now we are going to go to the entree and stay on track for schedule. We just skip through here. Perfect. I just want to thank the two panelists here. They're going to introduce themselves and then share a little bit about their use of Mosaic in Live and what their experiences have been.
Yes. Thank you. I am starting off. Do I have to stay behind the podium?
You can move out.
Can I be? Okay. So if I'm right behind the podium, I can't see the slide. I can't interact. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. My name is Mary Snyder. Am I speaking loud enough?
Mhm.
Perfect, great. From a very young age, I was told to use my indoor voice, but I didn't learn that skill, so it's come in handy today. As of course you can see here on my slide, I am with Strayer University. We are an online first org. We have campuses up and down the East Coast and out to Texas, but our students are mostly online. Our faculty are online, as are our books and resources for our students. So I have been here with Strayer for over 7 years, and in my time I have heavily used ECM and now Mosaic. Do we have any ECM users? One? Only one? Oh my goodness. Okay, well I suppose that's all right because now we're talking about Mosaic. Prior to my time, we were heavy users of GOBI. So I have some actually comparison between using GOBI to purchase print and and then using ECM for ebooks to then compare it to Mosaic. And then of course, as you see, my favorite dessert with our food is, I couldn't even go with just a lava cake. I couldn't go with just chocolate cake. I had to go for the whole shebang. Molten Nutella and peanut butter lava cake, so I have no nut allergies, as you can tell. Just everything. Would you like to do that? Sure.
All right. Okay. I'm Suzanne Duncan. I am Director of Library Services for Centera Health. As you can see, it's big. And part of the academic side is our diploma school that started in 1888. Became a college about 10 years ago. It is now going to be moving to Virginia Wesleyan University because there's a whole lot of documentation and requirements in our health systems. Like, we're not into Clery and Title IX and Title IV. We're more into Joint Commission and D&V and state regulations and federal regulations, and it was getting confusing. But we have, I have actually been at Centera for 39 years. They paid for half my master's, so some of you young people, you want advanced degrees, go somewhere where they pay for half your degree. It's a pretty cool deal. I am more clinically focused because my first 24 years were in our Trauma One hospital. So I have a very different experience. I do stuff with the college. We have a print copy of every one of their textbooks because, as funny as this sounds, I know you never have this problem. Your students can't buy a textbook because they're out of stock the first day of class. It doesn't happen, does it?
Never, never.
So we keep one copy in for them to do their homework in the library because most of my students by week 3 are in clinical and everything else is online for them. So my favorite dessert is a apple walnut cake. Again, no nut allergies. This worked out really well for us. But I wanted to show you the library site, and I'm going to start the conversation about use. So this is what our site looks like. It's EDS with a Stacks platform, and I have an IT guy, and I just let him do whatever he wants. That's his fun thing, the banners. I didn't create this site. I went out and interviewed 1,000 people in the company, including the college, and said, what do you want? So for me, I used GOBI for like 2 seconds because it would let me buy things that I couldn't get because I'm a health system. That's a problem when I call somebody up and say, hey, you're going to get that book. It doesn't show up, and it doesn't show up, and it doesn't show up. And they're like, well, I thought you said that ebook was showing up. So it was great when ECM came along because it at least reduced that problem for me. And now Mosaic, ECM still took a while. You know, you order it and it takes a while. Mosaic, so I had a phone call this morning from somebody, a physician who got my phone number, and he wanted a book. And the rule is you don't ask me for something unless it's for patient care, for a patient in a bed or coming to your office. Because I have 450 offices that I support. So I figured he had to fit in one of those categories because I didn't want to ask and get told no because then I have to hang up on him. And I do like the man. So I ordered him a book while he was talking to me, and before I got off the phone, he was in there searching by the title, because I have a little Library World. I don't know if any of you have heard of that vendor. It's really little. It's just to check in and out a few things we own physically. He was able to search in our search bar for that book of that title and open it up before I got off the phone with him this morning. So he was like, you're the best. I'm like, yeah, tell my boss. So I just wanted to give you, that's been my experience. The thing I did not like about GOBI was it let me buy things I could not provide. Does anybody have a medical library, part of a health system? So we all know Elsevier will not let you buy anything unless you buy the entire collection. That is the purchase model in the United States only. So if I want 3 Elsevier books for my nurses in the ED, I have to spend $300,000 to buy the whole collection. So I don't buy them. But that's the thing that ECM, or I'm sorry, Mosaic, will not let me buy those books. They will have, when it comes up, things that say, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit, this is in development still, so you guys play with this, seriously, and if there's something you want, you tell them. So to me, in my world, if I've got the 7th edition of Sabatine and Schwartz, which I think that's a surgery textbook, and the 8th edition comes out, I would love to be in Mosaic and click my 7th edition and get my user stats to say, okay, that was enough for me to actually update the book, and then purchase it and update it. I would also like the ability that when it opens up and says, your profile is not with this publisher, so you can't purchase this ebook, to be able to just hit a button and it sends me the request to fill out so I can just do it. And I'm sure Mary has some fun stuff she does with it.
That is a great segue. I'll talk for a moment about our focus groups, and then we can
Do questions.
jump back again or something. Yeah, okay. The team at EBSCO has multiple focus groups, and we happen to be on the workflow focus group in which we meet monthly for at least 11 months now, right? I think it's been at least 11 months in which the product team, the UX team, many teams come and show us mock-ups, demos, and we all comment on what we need for our searching, workflow, selecting, approvals. There's about 10, 15 of us in the Zoom room in which we'll all look at that item details tab that John and Bethany pointed out, and we discussed that. What should be expandable within that tab? What should be present already without clicking? What should be bolded? Should it be in columns? Should it be centered? Just everything. And then every month, the wonderful partners come back and show us something different, improved. It is a circle of improvement. So if you do in fact ask for a sample account or access and whatnot, you're able to remark on what you need. For example, one of my needs was ordering multiple copies of an ebook. While I love the ebook sales team, I don't necessarily want to always email them and say, can you order me 15 copies of Jack Welch's The Welsh Way? And then they have to order my copies and send it back for me to confirm in email, and we go back and forth, and then I get the copies. I am able to go in and click Welsh Way as many times as I want to, and then purchase it, and then call my business faculty 20 minutes later and say, yes, indeed, Dr. So-and-so, you have 15 more copies of your favorite book to teach in Management 505, have at it and use it immediately for a class later on that night, maybe at 7 p.m., right? So, so ordering those multiple copies was a pain point for me that I vocalized, and they listened and heard, and then they fixed it, and I can order multiple copies all day long.
So there isn't a pull down to 15? You have to click to iteratively to add each one?
I think in the cart, there is a pull down, I think, because on the one screen, if I wanted to literally click. But I think in the cart, if I add one.
So, yeah, that's something that we're gonna be iterating on too, depending on what you're trying to do. So you were trying to get, today in ECM, you're prevented from buying a duplicate copy, basically.
Correct.
So she couldn't get around it unless she called someone and said, help me out. So it's self-service, and now we say, if you really wanna buy it, go ahead, you can do it. Over time, we will have a quantity where you can do something like that. But it's an improvement for now for her to be able to order those and get them rapidly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I know we've got about 8 minutes or so. Any questions? You were that good.
So while they're thinking of questions, I can just share some insights on how to learn more. So if you scan the code, it brings you to a Mosaic page where you get the details. You can email the team, they can set you up with a login. We also have a roadmap, which I highlight here. I think I have up too, if I open my browser, which is really great. If you're wondering what's coming next, when are selector workflows coming? When are print books coming? When is everything coming? You can use the filter on the left there and filter in the coming soon by different categories, or you can peruse recently released things. So a good example here is what content's coming soon. You can see Bloomsbury and Wiley are coming next, so you can use the roadmap in that way to help inform and what you're working on. And then lastly, I mentioned this earlier, but the webinars, of course, are a great tool because they're actual libraries in many cases sharing and showing, and they're little sound bites, which is nice because not everyone has hours and hours to spend doing this. So if you want quick information, it's a really nice way to achieve that.
A question about the timeline for the print coming soon. Like being a library that has used ProQuest Oasis for ordering, no longer have that. So wondering what coming soon might look like.
Yeah, and it's like you teed me up. I had this at the bottom of the slide deck, not intending to show it, but just in case. This is an insight into kind of where we're at with our general timeline, right? So the You Are Here button in the middle, we had our beta, and we had our general release where we really built out the dupe checking, this ILS interoperability that I was talking about, where now you have real-time validation lists with your ILS, and the customizations we've talked about. Up next, we're working on expanding roles, permissions, selector workflows, those sorts of things. And then after that will come print books, DDA, all those sort of advanced programs. I will share that we have already been doing analysis on print books to understand what it takes. We know we can get better at predicting when you can expect to get that book in. We know there's some improvements on status and availability. What we've done with Mosaic has shown that we can do better. We want to apply that to print books as well. So that will be next up on deck there. So more to come on kind of what the timeline looks like longer term. I will say, just as a fun fact, I work out of the New Hampshire office, which is where the print book warehouse is, and where the physical processing happens. So it's really neat. We do have, I think, a little article on LinkedIn that has some pictures of that, so if you're interested in that, take a peek. You might like it. Does that answer your questions?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just curious, because I don't see it up here. Consortial support in Mosaic, is there a timeline for that?
Yeah, so that sort of falls over here in the advanced collection. GOBI has a lot of experience with different consortia. Some we do really nice and automated, and sometimes it's the heart and soul of the people that really make sure this stuff gets done right. With Mosaic, we really want to streamline that. Some of the things we've built in, John mentioned the order profiles. We are laying the groundwork so that we can support consortium in a variety of ways without handcuffing ourselves. So a lot of the architecture under the scenes is going to support that. We have that in mind, and some of the things we're building out, we're sort of preparing that for us. But right now we're really focused on getting ebooks out there and working really well, making sure we have the content, making sure that we are streamlining workflows, interoperability. We have the basic selector workflows, all of those things that are needed. So we're really making sure we take the time to do things the right way. We're really not just trying to jam something in there. As Mary said, we're working in partnership with so many libraries to make sure that what their needs are, we're hearing, and not just add a button, but why do you need that button? Maybe there's a different way, a better way. So please keep your feedback coming, and look to the roadmap to learn a little more, check with your rep on kind of where Mosaic is relative to the support that you need to do your jobs.
Can you tell us what ebook providers that are available to work in GOBI that are not available in Mosaic right now, or that you might be working on?
Okay, so GOBI provides, supports, I think it's a little more than 30 ebook suppliers, some are small. But Mosaic today, I think, has 90% of the content that GOBI has is now available at Mosaic. But it's only, I think, 6 actual suppliers right now, but it's the bulk of what the content is and what gets ordered. So we're sort of prioritizing that. We're working in partnership, though, with those e-suppliers. So we have Wiley and Bloomsbury on deck, as I mentioned. They're actually right now developing. We'll be testing with them. Bloomsbury will be live first quarter of the first year of next year. But we have some net new suppliers in Mosaic too that we are working with to make sure that we have a breadth of content available. So more to come with like details on the roadmap of all the suppliers so that you can kind of compare and contrast. I'd love to connect with you offline though. We can talk through that and provide that for you.
Can I chip in
Yeah,
just on
please
this
do,
one? So really to expand on what Bethany was saying, this is really a long-term project for us. So we're being really, really thoughtful about how we're integrating. So right now what we're asking for is, think of it as like the Cadillac or the Ferrari of integration, right? It has to be super fast, to the point where you can get a phone call from a faculty, you order it and have it available then. That involves a lot of work on the platform side. So we haven't introduced a less complex integration yet. So there's 5 platforms that will be unique to Mosaic that aren't in GOBI today that are already signed and ready to go. They just can't meet our integration point. Once we release that next version of integration, we'll be able to match and then exceed what GOBI does today from a platform perspective. But again, we're taking our time and trying to be thoughtful and get as many platforms as we can on that so that you can answer phone calls in your order books.
Well, part of my question is that there are providers that are horribly slow at
Yeah.
providing the activation information.
Oh,
And so
absolutely.
I was going, how is that even possible? That's not possible, obviously, for the same day for some of those that I put on the provider, for example, and I'm not gonna mention names, but we all know.
Of course, and there's some that just don't have the technical capability and
Right.
others who we have to be able to help find better ways. But even that other integration is gonna be better than weeks, right? That's unacceptable.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
That's a really timely question. We've been really talking about that a lot internally. We want to set a standard that's really high for Mosaic, but we understand that some partners just can't do that. So we've been thinking and brainstorming, might there be other ways we can help that as well? So John, that's sort of the heartbeat of what he works on. He really is tuned into all of that, so I'm sure he'd be available volunteering you.
But as libraries, we still need to order those
Yeah.
ebooks from those providers and
Got
and
it.
provide the access and, try to not,
Absolutely.
and have limited capacity as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have another question, and you might have given the detail on this, and I have 4 o'clock brain, so I apologize. Duplication control, is that like a Z3950 setup, or for checking for dupes already in your collection? Like, do you know like what technically is happening there? Is it like a Z3950
So
connection,
that-
or?
Today, the duplication checking is we can load your holdings. We also know any EBSCO subscriptions or content you buy, we know, so we provide that as well. Longer term, we're going to continue to expand our duplication checking. We have talked about a real-time check, like you're describing, whereby we can go and do that real time. But currently, if we load your holdings, it'll be duplication checking. And as I said, if EBSCO purchases are made, we'll duplication check against that as well.
And then for the 2 library folks, do you do your holding loading?
I have not loaded mine, because I think they're planning to load ECM in, so I'm like, I've got time for that. But, so I do have open and check in my search bar if I have the book. I will say now, today, anything I've ordered in Mosaic, if I forgot I ordered it and I put it in again, it will tell me I already own it, which can be a pleasant surprise. Sometimes like, oh, done. Move on to the next thing. So yeah, in Mosaic now, it will tell you, and I know somewhere on the roadmap, because we've asked them to take everything that we've done in ECM. I don't know if we've asked for you to take everything we've done in GOBI, but at least everything in ECM is going to be loaded into Mosaic. So when you order, and it's like Mary said, I've had that where I want to order more than 1 copy, and all they do is one, so you have to literally go out and reopen the order and then do it again, and then create another order, do it again, or you send an email. So that changes with Mosaic, and it will tell you how many copies you've ordered from
How many
ECM
copies?
when it goes into Mosaic, and that's I'm hoping soon. They're very receptive to us asking anything. They very seldom said no, it's just where on the timeline it fits, because we ask for multiple functionalities all at one time.
We absolutely do, right? Because we have, our focus group is a wide range of use cases. So there are times when all 10 of us are asking for radically different things. And then the following month, they'll come back with a new mock-up that sort of fits our needs, even though my use case is radically different than your use case sometimes, and then other times we are the same. Also with the holdings, just like you mentioned, your ECM and my EBSCO titles are loaded in already. When I've gone in, right, when I see my current holdings, I also see the license. So if I currently have, 1 copy, 1 user, I see where I can purchase actually a second of that one, or to upgrade and such too. Yep.
Yeah, and I don't remember, they'll correct me if I'm wrong, like sometimes I buy 1 copy because I'm not sure. And then all of a sudden somebody finds it, and then all of a sudden it's 11 hospitals are all looking at it, and 50 or 60 of the practices. And now I need more, and I'm like, well, let me go to 3. Because I paid for 1, the price I'm getting for 3 takes off the price of that first one, is what I've noticed. So that is fiscally responsible, and my powers that be are like, yeah, I bought 2 more copies, but I didn't have to pay the 3-copy price because they gave me credit for already buying 1, the type of thing.
Yeah, so the upgrade pricing, we'll be building that out in Mosaic in the future for sure. I did want to say, you guys mentioned your feedback. For Mosaic users, there's a feedback button here. Please do share your feedback, because what we hear is often the same feedback from different customers, right? And even if it's not something we're actively working on now, it gets locked in the vault. And then as we work on those things, whether it's consortia or print books, we're like, oh yeah, there were these problems or these workflow issues, and we use that as we're building out. So it's really important for the product team especially to hear from you. So please do reach out with your thoughts and comments and concerns.
You mentioned that when you're ordering, you've got additional fields, like for reporting codes and all that. Have you updated your API functionality to import those additional fields?
Yeah, so Mosaic is completely separate from GOBI.
Right.
And it offers order API interoperability. And so you can customize up to 35 fields instead of the 10. The fields can be up to 150 characters, so much broader opportunities there. And the APIs support that, passing that back and forth.
All of those fields?
Yes.
Do you have that documentation on so I can read it?
So
Online somewhere?
we can get it to you. Carol.
Hi. Hi, Carol. You know me. You've got my email.
I do?
Yeah, Shelley from FSU.
Oh, yeah.
You just helped me with the GOBI API.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I will say the API. What's your ILS? Is it Alma?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would suggest if you have the 10 minutes, check out the webinar from September. It's really nice to see there. It might be helpful, but Carol can certainly help you.
I'd like to read
We
the
have
documentation. Yeah, because we tried
Yeah.
to implement it with the Alma with GOBI and it didn't work. We had to go back, so. I
Yeah,
wanna see how it
so a
works.
lot of those shortcomings we recognized and fixed for
Great.
Mosaic.
That's great.
We went through our old SI list, Emma and I, we love to comb through any sort of enhancement requests in anticipation of building out new functionality to see, what are areas that we could improve upon, and that was a key one. In addition, the GOBI implementation doesn't have real-time validation checks. Mosaic does. So if you have fun lists in Alma, fix them in Alma. We'll call it out. If you're setting up a template here, our templates will call out real time to get the validation list. Saves you double keying, it saves time, rejected orders, all of that. It's just so much more seamless. Do we have Folio customers in the room?
Yes.
Yeah, so for Folio, your Folio, beloved Folio template. We show those in Mosaic for you. So you set it up in Folio, and you're in here, and you can say, oh, here are my Folio templates, and apply them. So we definitely are trying to make sure that we key in on those workflow issues or roadblocks you've seen and improving them. So,
Great, thanks.
yeah, good question. So I think we're at one more question, and then we'll be at time.
Sorry. What is the onboarding plan?
Yeah,
I mean, you don't want everybody going at once, right?
sure we do.
Okay. I mean,
The more the merrier.
We're still using GOBI. I can see that there's
Yeah.
a lot of things we're ordering that's not quite there yet, but if we wanted to say start with ebooks, can we just ask for a round?
So I'm so glad you asked that question because you can use the two in parallel, right? And we would highly encourage you to start using Mosaic. Get a login, even if you don't want to order, try it out. You can be a voice of saying, hey, I needed to have this, this, and this, and we'll make sure it informs our roadmap, right? Or if you do want ebooks, try it out. You'll get them faster. You'll get all the things you need. So absolutely, and the setup is fast. Chris Baker's here in the room. Her team sets that all up. They're really quick at it. It's a quick turnaround. It's not heavy lift at all. So we'd love for you to try it out. Before you leave, Beth's in the corner. She's got the beloved Mosaic socks. I will say they are incredible. They are not like low quality. They're very high quality. And some books. So grab some swag. And thanks for coming. And thank you.